So this next band coming up, I don't know if you know the name of them. They're called Pantera.
Oh, yes.
I've heard of Pantera.
Heard of Pantera?
How did I hear Pantera?
Don't know.
Maybe I'm thinking of underwear.
Are you thinking of Panthers?
Pantera. Maybe Arcade.
Panties.
No, we'll see anyway.
Panties.
Well, anyway, they're from the 90s. They're not. They're still together. They reformed.
Yeah.
A bit of history about them. This performance that you're going to see, it's a live video. Now, this would be very heavy metal. Might not be your genre, your thing, but the guitarist in this is praised as having a great solo toward do you know what like a breakdown of a song where it just gets heavy, head banging. So this performance is from a famous Russian concert in Moscow. So it was right after the Red Wall fell down, and it was a concert held in a big open air field. It was free, and the headliners were Pantera, Metallica, AC/DC, and I can't remember the fourth act.
Anna McKendrick.
Dua Lipa.
Yeah, Dua Lipa. Yeah. Suzanne McCann.
But like the concert was like there was 1 million plus attended this. No one has official figures because it was free. 1 million plus people at this concert.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I may have seen clips of this.
You might have seen Metallica perform at it. Like there's footage of the crowds in Metallica, and there's helicopters like flying right above the crowd, and there's photos of guards like trying to like push and bash people back because it was just getting out of control. Like this was.
That's why I know it was the Viper Room.
This was like the first time a rock concert, like American rock concert, was held in Russia. So people went nuts.
Been bananas.
Absolutely crazy.
Like the Stones in Rio.
Exactly, yeah. Like I think Lady Gaga did a concert recently in Rio, and she broke the attendance record. I think there was maybe 2 million at it or something.
Jesus Christ almighty.
At that like Copa, that big beach.
Yeah.
Madonna did, like you said.
No, the Stones. I think the
Stones, Madonna did all that. But
where are these from, Pantera?
They're from Texas.
Okay.
But a bit of history about them is the lead guitarist and the drummer were brothers, and both of them have deceased. But the lead guitarist was shot on stage at a performance.
By whom?
Some guy.
By an audience member.
Yeah.
Not by a disgruntled technician.
It was someone came up and shot him in the head, killed him. But I think the guy was like,
"Don't you go back to the fight, to hear me? I'm afraid."
The ones in the audience are half shot.
God love him.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I think it was a guy that was back from the army. I think he had a bit of a screw loose. I think this guy had served in the army.
He wasn't that bad a drummer, was he?
No, the guitarist.
He wasn't that bad a guitarist.
I don't think. Well,
you're far.
You bad shot if he hit the drummer.
You can make your mind up on the guitarist. The vocals might not be your thing. I don't know. But I'd say, yeah, exactly. But I'd more so focus on the guitarist and the atmosphere, the energy.
So who we're going to see now is from
Pantera.
Right. So the fall of them. This is from the
Russian concert.
Okay, it's from the Moscow gig. They're all alive.
They're all alive here.
How many members of the band?
4.
So only one survives.
No, it's 2. The lead singer is still gigging,
and the bass.
The drummer was the brother of the
guitarist.
Yeah.
And he was shot. The brother. One of the brothers was shot.
Yeah, the lead guitarist was shot.
Oh my God! Right.
So the bass player and the lead singer are the only 2 left in the band.
Correct, and they're still touring now.
Right. Okay. Pantera.
Right.
Yeah, here we go.
In 3, 2, 1.
This is called Domination!
I don't like it! All right.
So will to be, and it's hard to say. Absolutely forget when there's nothing else left to destroy. It's a useless crime. Your life to see the trouble. And the rising on wall. Frozen, snake to a soul. Action or something will befall. Right! Dominate! Frustration! Oh yeah! And now that thought is reaching out into infinity!
I can actually understand the lyrics. But usually, bro, I can understand the lyrics. Is that the guy? Gotcha. That's what I'm saying. See the guy down.
Now, first of all, I'll talk. You're okay. That's over now.
Let Alvaro digest. Go on, Paddy.
But
Huh?
I get amazed by them bands. I think that there's so much going on, but it's so coming together. Mm-hmm. Like people wouldn't understand, like, why is he running around the stage just shouting into a mic? But he's not. It's all part. But I love looking at the lead player and the bass player, but the drummer is the guy. You know, he's just keeping it all together. And there's so they call him kicks. There's so many all those lads. Unbelievable. Mm-hmm. I'm just a big fan of them.
Okay.
Over to you, Daniel O'Donnell's best friend.
I like your man's hair and the other fella's boots.
He does have some head of hair.
Now, which one was tragically killed on stage?
The
guitar
guitarist with the massive head of hair.
My God, he wasn't that bad.
No, he definitely is not that bad.
I can understand the energy that's involved with that, and I understand
Yeah.
that people, and I do understand that people really love this music.
Yeah.
But I just can't get away from the fact that I just find it so aggressive.
Okay. fine.
Aggression.
But it is.
It is,
No,
though.
I
it's
know.
testosterone fuel.
Yeah.
Like it's,
Then is that the fucking
Yeah.
toxic alpha male shite again? But anyway, listen, I understand, I appreciate people like that music.
Yeah.
I've known many people who are decent people who like that music.
Oh.
So I'm not, well, decent. So, not dodgy. So I've often sort of said, okay, right. So I really don't dismiss anything. Even rap music. Some rap music is very good. I'm not really into it either. Do you know what I mean? But I understand the energy. You could feel the fucking energy. You could feel them knowing that they'd done something brilliant. You could see them at the end almost triumphantly saying, look, we're coming to the end. What was that? How was that?
Yeah.
And you go, yeah, you deserve that. You own that. Fair play to you. But for me, nah.
No? You didn't want to headbang at least once?
No, but it would make me sick now, vertigo. Anyway, but listen, I'm not here to knock it. Absolutely not.
Guitar. Okay, well, if you broke
Can
it
I
down,
break it down? I probably can't.
But could you see that the guitarist was
I could see that they were
Good.
I could see the role doing what they were doing, and what they were doing was fucking brilliantly done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I can understand the ingredients. I can understand the recipe. I just may not like the dish.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I understand what's going on. And I
100%.
appreciate that. Do you know what I mean?
That's a good way to put it.
The only
You can
time
appreciate the ingredients, but together you're like, the dish wasn't for me.
No.
But the individual ingredients.
Everything was quality. Everything was cooked beautifully. At the end, it's not for me.
Yeah.
The only thing I criticised here was that after we watched Tool or had a look at Tool, that sort of Nordic-y Viking,
Yes.
multi-staged, multi-character. Okay. That's the only time I've ever been really critical. You know, because I think I called it wank.
Yeah, fine.
And I'll stand
you're
by
allowed
that.
to.
And I'll stand by that. And I think I can justify that.
Right.
Because then you miss what I'm trying to say is in brief. That was too distracting. And you go, there's something going on. Can you not do that properly? These four boys on stage, even though it's not my music, you go, fuck me.
Yeah.
That's showcasing. That's definitely doing it. That's definitely working. That's definitely coming together. That energy there.
Yeah.
The guitar playing, yeah. Absolutely. You go, fucking hell, that's good, isn't it?
Like
drumming's good.
A lot of people would say that version, the live version, is better than the album version of that song.
Well, then there's
that version.
there
Is
in
just 'cause
itself.
it's so.
There in itself.
There's energy in it.
But can you imagine how exhausted they are after a 4 or 5 minute set, 6 minute set like that,
Yeah.
whatever it was? And the
Him
energy.
bouncing around on stage.
Absolutely.
The drum
But
up,
you
fuck.
see, they say that when you go on stage, your energy levels lift because you're looking at a crowd. But the sad part about all that is that will never happen again in Russia.
No.
That's
No.
the sad part.
No, it won't.
You know, when you see those people, they're being neglected in as far as concerts are. You know,
Yes,
not getting
up till that point, yeah.
Up to that,
And now probably.
the guitar player, it blow you away. He was unbelievable. The lead singer,
His name was Daryl. Dimebag Daryl. Is what
Dimebag.
Dime bag.
Dime.
Dime bag. Dime.
Yeah.
and it's great. Now he had one of those. I think that was a Gibson guitar. It's like it's not a flying V, but it's something else. But the bass player had a Fender precision bass, jazz bass.
Okay.
Which is great to see them on. The drummer, I noticed his tom-toms were sort of looking at him.
Yeah.
You know, so he could go around them. It was very good. The only thing that I noticed about it,
Mic up.
if you didn't see this part of it, you swear by looking down at the shorts, it was AC/DC.
Oh, yeah. Angus,
Very,
yeah.
very light.
I told you I liked his hair and his shorts and his boots.
You
And his
know,
hair.
because your man Angus, he has created
Yeah.
that schoolboy image.
Exactly, yeah.
But then again,
And they played at the same show.
it was Russia. It was during the summer.
Yeah.
So
I know,
why
but
not?
I think everybody has a certain collective look. There's a
Yes.
certain look. New Romantics, Seattle grunge. It all has a certain uniform.
does, yeah.
A certain, because it's a grouping. It's a tribe. That I understand. But you're talking about energy when you go on stage. Yeah, absolutely. But it takes that amount of energy also to do a very somber soliloquy.
Oh yeah.
It's that energy
yeah.
has to be channeled. but just the physical input of doing that on stage is just
exhausting,
incredible. But it's admirable. I won't just dismiss it. I'll say that's admirable. That's fucking fair play.
Oh no, they give the energy
and
to the audience.
Hundreds of thousands of people are just living for
millions,
and they're communicating. But that's the point. Is in it. It's communication.
Yeah.
So for that group, what was that other group? The Viking thing.
Hylon.
And they weren't communicating. They were showing off.
Okay.
There's an insular.
I understand.
There's an insular nature to being niche. Niche means that, okay, you're a certain, some people like you and some people get you. Then you go uber niche, where you say, well, obviously you're a lesser person because you don't get me. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
And at that point, the performance...
you just don't get it.
The performance doesn't cross over. A performer, whether you're a poet, a musician, a
Comedian.
songwriter, an actor, whatever, once you're not communicating, you're redundant.
Yeah.
Fair.
You're redundant.
I agree 100%.
Fair.
So when that happens, and I've seen it professionally and locally, both musically and verbally, when that's gone, when they're not even bothering, when they're having too much fun because they think they're at the zenith of their ability, you go, you're not communicating to me, not because I can't get you, because you're a fucking... And that, I'm going off on right now, because that winds me up.
Yeah. Well, it is true. It is true in the music business. You're not there to play for yourself.
It's an all performance.
It's
Paddy.
exactly for the audience.
Paddy, it's all performance. You only exist because your audience is there.
That's exactly
correct.
It. Yeah.
That's it.
And
Go on.
when you go on stage, this is from a musician, when you go on stage, if you go into a studio and record a song, when you go on stage, it goes up 2 decibels quicker and faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. It has to be.
Yeah.
But that amazed me. That guitar player.
But then, hang on, but then again, let's talk about this. You still have to have an awful element of control because unlike studio space, you have to media yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You have to pace yourself. You're on stage for an hour 45 to 2:15.
So you can't blow out your lungs on your voice in the first one.
So that itself takes a lot of restraint.
Oh, it does.
Control.
Yeah.
Hence
I would think.
solos and songs.
yeah.
Get it sweet.
Yeah.
To get a mix.
And now 2 hours of instrumental.
Yeah.
Not by me, by the CD.
Yeah.
But you know, it's amazing. I love it like that. I love watching that when I looked at that there, I love watching what's happening around. They are creating a fantastic thing, but I just love watching the guitar player. He's running about the place, you know, the bass player as well.
Yeah.
The lead singer is communicating. He has
It's all about communication. Did you ever see the music?
He's a hype man. He's hyping up the crowd.
But that's I've seen
a
that
front
many
man,
absolutely.
like all the great ones do.
But you can see Mike Bublé
Freddie
doing that.
Mercury.
You can see Frank Sinatra doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's showbiz. You see that age doing that, he's usually shaking his hips. And I told you he's of an age he shouldn't be at it. I don't know what I was going to say there. I was just thinking of his hips.
Frank Sinatra.
I went all a blank.
His hips don't lie.
Yeah, well you do. You see them all, Frank Sinatra, Michael Bublé, the whole lot. Communicate. You have to. It's no use you getting on a stage and playing to yourself.
No.
It's not on.
Even Nina Simone, with her face stuck to the keyboard and a nonchalant, magnificent voice, communicates.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And that's what it is. So, some acts are really just there because there can be remote pieces of art. And you go, no, not having that. I'm just, no.
But now there is one person when he's no longer with us that it just was his stage appearance. He was so down, but his music made him because we were waiting on it. It was Leonard Cohen.
Yes.
He was sorry, he didn't get any excitement, but his songs they lifted you.
Yeah.
You know, but this night you have to be in.
Athen, wait to tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed that. I really, really enjoyed that. Ultimately, it doesn't do it for me, but I can really go, look at the end.
But you would like to sit down and listen to.
Well, no, my musical tastes are very. I would never sit down and listen to that. Never.
If I was,
I would watch it maybe.
Yeah,
like Tool.
Yeah.
I don't think I could watch Tool. I could certainly listen to them. Not odd. Because I prefer the stories. I prefer the imagery I'm getting from their music.
Yeah.
Rather than presented to me. Terry Hooley, Belfast, record promoter, come on, Teenage Kicks.
Oh, yeah.
Tones.
Undertones. You discover the undertones. Have you seen this movie, Good Vibrations? If you haven't watched it, go and
I
get
haven't.
it. Get it. I don't know where you'll find it, but go and get it. Good
Okay,
Vibrations.
I've heard of it though, but I haven't
So
seen
he has a record shop and he's a promoter. And punk, 78, 79, it's just sort of coming to Northern Ireland maybe. And he went and he heard the undertones and a wee small venue in Belfast. And the camera work it's beautifully directed and it's beautifully performed. But just the camera moves in a tracking when he hears the undertones.
Right.
And he realized what punk is or what that form of punk is.
Yeah.
And that revelation is magnificent. And only from watching that movie went, God, I don't mind punk at all. I mean, I remember as a kid listening to the New York Dolls. As a kid, I would watch reruns of the Old Grey Whistle Test.
Look,
You know? Do you know the Old Grey Whistle? Right, okay. Whispering
Bob Harris.
Bob Harris. Now, like most refuge of the old punk, he's gone into country music.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's a broadcaster, presenter, and producer on BBC Radio 2. Probably some for 4 as well. Whistling Bob Harris. You watch his stuff, but the Old Grey Whistle Test
Yeah, you should watch it.
was the non-commercial, I suppose, top of the pops.
But yeah, but
Right, okay.
You know, slightly.
had your top bands like.
Oh, you had your top
Yeah.
bands, but certainly bands would be featured that would never be featured on top of the
Yeah,
pops.
I get you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Got it.
So you have a look at that on YouTube. Old Grey Whistle Test.
What he'd do, he'd sit and he used to. Yeah, that's a lovely band, you know, love it. Oh, they're real soft, but then, like it was in the studio. Everything was taken off the walls. You can see the wires hanging where there's lights and all that.
Right, okay.
And they played.
Brechtian.
And he-
Brechtian. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Breaking
say-
the wall sort of thing.
Tin Lizzy. He might have
The illusion
kinks
of
on it.
industry.
You know, and fabulous. And they were live. You know,
Yeah.
fabulous
Okay.
show. But
Anyway.
Anyway.
So listen, bottom line is
that was your intro
not my
to
cup of
Pantera.
tea, but I like the cup it was presented in.
Excellent.
I definitely, I would be a fan.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you, everybody.
Can we do Dick Van or something?
No.
Can we do Max Bygraves next week?
Max Bygraves next.
I'm joking.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.